From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he was devastated to learn of Friday's tragic road accident in southwestern Ontario, where 4 secondary students and a school staff member were killed on their way home from a sporting event. The Blue Water District School Board is also calling the tragedy a heartbreaking loss for the whole community, noting all 5 people who died were from a K-12 school in Walkerton, Ontario. Middlesex OPP Sergeant Ed Sanchuk says the 16 and 17-year-old students and a 33-year-old man were all traveling in the SUV that collided with a transport truck and then with another SUV at an intersection outside London.
As a father, I can't even imagine what these families are going through. And I just wanted to extend our deepest and sincerest condolences on behalf of the Ontario Provincial Police. You're in our thoughts.
The school board says mental health staff and a tragedy response team will be supporting the school's staff and students through a very painful time in the days and weeks ahead. A massive Russian drone and missile attack targeted the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, and other regions in the country overnight, killing at least 12 people. Ukraine's Air Force says the scale of the onslaught was stunning. It says Russia hit Ukraine with 367 drones and missiles, making this the largest single aerial attack since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion. The attack also came ahead of a third day of mass prisoner swaps. The full Liberal caucus is gathering today on Parliament Hill to prepare for Monday's start of Parliament and to decide whether to adopt a process to eject a party leader who is unwilling to leave after the roller coaster experience MPs had with former leader Justin Trudeau. Meanwhile, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre will address his caucus today before 144 Tory MPs return to the Commons without him in a seat. King Charles and Queen Camilla will be in Canada starting tomorrow for a 2-day royal visit that's already being called historic. The King is set to open Parliament Tuesday morning.
A speech from the throne is intended to signal the government's plans for a new legislative session. This throne speech on Tuesday is meant to send a strong signal beyond our borders because King Charles will be reading the speech as our head of state. Historian and royal commentator Carolyn Harris says it's a showcase of Canada's constitutional monarchy in action and a direct response to U.S. President Donald Trump's threats to make Canada the 51st state. Sarah Ritchie, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
And British Columbia lottery players have hit it big again. The BC Lottery Corporation is awaiting the holder of a Lotto Max ticket worth $40 million. A single ticket matched all 7 numbers to win the jackpot in Friday's draw, and it was sold in Burnaby, BC. It comes the same month as an $80 million ticket was won and claimed by a man in nearby Surrey, in what was the biggest jackpot ever awarded to one person in this country. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Edmonton Oilers will be looking to grab a 2-1 lead in their NHL Western Conference Final Series today when they host the Dallas Stars in a rare afternoon game at Rogers Place. Last night in the Eastern Conference Final in Sunrise, Florida, things were tied at 1 going into the third period. The defending champion Florida Panthers scored 5 goals in 9 minutes to beat the Carolina Hurricanes 6-2 and move 1 win away from a third straight trip to the Stanley Cup Final. In the Professional Women's Hockey League final, it took a third overtime period before Katie Knowles scored to lift the defending champion Minnesota Frost to a 2-1 win over the Ottawa Charge and a 2-1 lead now in that best-of-5 series. The London Knights scored a 3-2 overtime victory over the Moncton Wildcats at the opener of Junior Hockey's Memorial Cup in Rimouski, Quebec, and the Toronto Blue Jays will try to avoid a series sweep today when they face the Tampa Bay Rays. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.